Yo, what's happening, folks? It's your boy Sports PSP. Hope everyone's enjoying a fantastic Tuesday. Want to talk about some NBA news. Yes, again, going back to the Memphis Grizzlies, Dillon Brooks. I'm reading an article here from Sham Charania of The Athletic. The Memphis Grizzlies have informed pending unrestricted free agent Dillon Brooks that he will not be brought back under any circumstances, league sources tell The Athletic. After his tumultuous end to the season, Brooks was told about the Grizzlies' decision to move on in exit meetings with team officials in recent days. Those sources said Memphis and Brooks discussed in exit meetings that it's best for both sides to have a fresh start, sources added. Brooks' first-round series against the Los Angeles Lakers was considered to be a breaking point. In the span of the Grizzlies series loss in 6 games, he called LeBron James, the Lakers' best player and a 4-time NBA champion, quote, old, tired, and suggested he was not as good as he used to be. Brooks punched James in the groin area in Game 3, earning an ejection. He missed a defensive assignment to help on James on the game-tying basket in Game 4, and then gave up a critical basket to James in overtime of that loss. Brooks also chose not to speak to the media after 3 of those losses in the series, resulting in a $25,000 fine by the NBA. The Lakers also left Brooks open during the series and dared him to shoot, using the extra defender to keep All-Star Ja Morant from driving or to blitz Desmond Bane on the perimeter. Brooks shot 31.2% from the field and 23.8% from three-point land in the series while averaging 10.5 points and shooting nearly 13 shots per game. Brooks, who's 27 years old, a second-round pick out of Oregon in 2017, has spent his entire 6-year NBA career with the Grizzlies. He is the Grizzlies' longest tenured player, establishing himself as a 3-and-D wing who could serve as a starter for some teams. He has often been considered part of their heart and soul as a fiery, gritty defender, not afraid to say what's on his mind. Brooks also earned a suspension for striking Gary Payton II in the head in the playoffs last year, causing him to be suspended for a game against the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference semifinals. Brooks also hit Cavaliers star Donovan Mitchell in the groin this season, which started a fight against Cleveland. Memphis did not make contract extension offers to Brooks early in the season, which were rejected and led to the end of talks, sources said. Grizzlies Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations Zach Kleiman told reporters on Sunday that the franchise will be, quote, very aggressive in the offseason. Memphis has up to 5 first-round picks and up to 3 draft swaps to utilize in prospective trades. So that's the report from Sham Charania of The Athletic. Here are my thoughts. It's over for Dillon Brooks in Memphis. I think it's best for him to go somewhere else. I think both sides need to part ways. And I said it on my last video regarding Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks, the problem that I have with him is that he talks so much shit and he can't back it up with his performance. I am not surprised at all that the Memphis Grizzlies decide to move on from Dillon Brooks because they feel like his play is not matching up with his trash talking. And he's becoming more of a headache for the Grizzlies organization. And I've said before, folks, that the Grizzlies, they need to change their culture. I do think that Taylor Jenkins should leave Taylor Jenkins, hire somebody else who can hold these players accountable, because the Memphis Grizzlies, they need a lot of help as far as maturity, discipline, leadership, etc., and also accountability. And it's not just Dillon Brooks, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, other players on the Memphis Grizzlies roster. It's time for Dillon Brooks to move on from Memphis, despite him being the longest tenured player, and some do consider him the heart and soul because he's asked to do the dirty work as far as defense, and he does a lot of trash talking, but the problem with him is he can't back it up. He has no one to blame but himself. He has absolutely no one to blame but himself for running his mouth, for talking all that shit, and yet he couldn't back it up. In the playoffs, like I said, folks, he averaged 31.2% from the field, 23.8% from three-point range, and they just let him shoot. They're just like, you provide no threat. You're not this great or elite shooter. We're not gonna respect you. We're gonna leave you wide open. We're gonna dare you to shoot because we know for a fact you're gonna miss it. So I hope for Dillon Brooks, he has to learn a valuable lesson at the end of the day. I'm not surprised at all with this move. I'm not surprised that the Memphis Grizzlies are deciding to move on from Dillon Brooks because he's not worth it. Production and tolerance. When production is high, so is tolerance. But when production drops, sooner or later, the tolerance is gone. And it's easier to get rid of players just like that. Hopefully for the Memphis Grizzlies, they'll find somebody else who can do just as good, if not a better job than Dillon Brooks. That's part of business. I hope for Dillon Brooks, he does a lot of soul searching. I hope he improves his game, and he's got to back it up. Again, I have no problem at all with anybody trash talking. I have no problem talking your shit as long as you can back it up. If you cannot back it up, then shut the fuck up. Please. All you're doing is just embarrassing yourself, and no one is going to take you seriously. And right now, if you look at Dillon Brooks at this point, he is nothing more than a clown. Sorry, but that's just the truth. So Dillon Brooks needs to go somewhere else. I hope he finds a home somewhere in the NBA, but he's got to work on his game. And at the same time, he has got to stop talking. Because all he keeps doing, if he keeps yapping, if he keeps running his mouth, and if he can't back it up with his play, I'm sorry. Those are my thoughts about Dillon Brooks, folks. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. It's your boy Sports PSP. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and God bless.